Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I just have a short video for you. I just want to highlight a couple of repeat bloomers. These are not first blooms, these are repeat blooms that I have on two of the Cattleyas in my collection. I'm doing a lot of orchid stuff. There's orchid meetings that are coming up, orchid shows that are coming up, and I'm trying to groom these guys so that I can bring them in and present them at the shows. I'll take videos of all the shows that I go to. I'm actually giving some talks, some orchid talks to some of the local orchid societies, and I'll try to have video from that as well. And I'm real excited and kind of tired. I'm planning a pretty big deflasking party in the laboratory tomorrow night. These are a lot of fun. Everyone is really excited about the invitation. I've got a lot of flasks. They all look good. People are going to be taking home lots of plants, and it is a lot of fun. There's the flasks that will be, the orchids that will be deflasking. Many of them are first time deflasks. So these are some new hybrids that I've generated, and I'm pretty excited about them. The orchids in the flask look like they're very vigorous. I think maybe a few of them are even named for people that are in the group because they provided pollinia for me, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But it's also a lot of effort to put that together and make sure I have all the supplies, pots, bark, tubs, for everything anyway. But that's tomorrow night, and I'm preparing for that. Today I just got these two guys that I want to share with you, and both of these are this is a fairly new orchid in my collection, but it is a repeat bloom. It bloomed for me a few months ago, and I guess there were these blooms that were these flowers that were just kind of hung up in the plant that didn't quite come out when this thing first bloomed. This is Nell hammer, and the cultivar on this is Golden Lady. It's a pretty nice, vigorous plant. I got it when it was a little bit smaller, maybe not that long ago, but it's put out a lot of growth, and it has bloomed for me a couple of times. I'm sorry, this is the second time. But like I said, the first bloom wasn't that long ago. The blooms aren't really opened quite as nice as I'd like them to be, and this is a cloned plant. So because this is a cultivar, Golden Lady, it's a cloned plant. So this was cloned and named, I think, because in Nell hammer, the pink or purple that's in the lip here, I think is a little bit unusual. I really liked when I looked up this plant when it was not blooming and I was buying this. I should also say this is from RFO Orchids in Homestead, Florida. That is a great grower and supplier of orchids. Everything that I get from RF does really, really well. And this is another one of those plants, and I'm happy with it. I actually may be making a trip there in a few weeks. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, back to this plant. So Nell hammer has some flaring, has some dark yellow flaring in the petals. I don't think maybe in the sepals also. But in this flower, it's really subtle. In many other Nell hammers that I've seen from the same cross, the flaring, the dark yellow to light yellow in the petals and sepals is a little bit more pronounced. And I think this caught the eye of the people at RF Orchids because of the coloration in the lip. I should also say that this is registered by RF, so this is one of their hybrids, and this is a little bit unusual for Nell hammer because of the coloration. For that reason, they cloned it. But it's a nice plant, nice fragrance. It's again a classical Cattleya fragrance. It's got a little bit. I'm trying to see what that is. Oh, and I'm Hey, get out of there! Hey, I'm watching a bird eat tomatoes pulling a tomato off my tomato plant. I told him that I don't like tomatoes, but I told my wife that she needed to harvest the tomatoes, and the birds are getting it. The birds apparently like them. I don't let them have that, but she's got to harvest. Anyway, back to this guy. So this has the fragrance on this. It again, it's a classical Cattleya. I think it's got a little bit of a spicy or an herby scent to it as well. So you know, I like this plant. It's probably the first orchid show that I've got is in a couple of weeks. This flower isn't really open that well, so I don't think it's gonna be here long enough. I don't think it's going to be ready. But there's no other flowers that I see coming out on this plant. Okay. So this is Nell hammer. Let me put this one aside. But I'm looking at this had a lot of bloom spikes on it. I think this one bloomed when I was back in the Midwest over, you know, the Christmas New Year holiday. And I think it was just starting to bloom, and I think it put out some initial blooms. I didn't even get a picture of the flower because it was just starting to open. And anyway, I think this is going to end up being a really nice plant. Okay. Moving over to this guy. This is one of my favorites. This is Odom's Grand Delight. This is a big, flowering, fragrant Cattleya. And this thing, the flowers are huge. They're not, I guess I've had them bigger, but they're probably about 6 inches across. They have dark purple flaring on kind of light purple petals. The sepals don't show really any flaring. When this thing opened, the petals were a lot lighter in color, and it is darkened a lot. The thing that is striking about this flower is the lip. This is the richness of the coloration in the lip on this plant is really incredible. Fragrance on this, not right now on this one, not really good, but this again has a nice strong classical Cattleya fragrance associated with it. I like this again because of the coloration, because of the longevity of the flowers, and also because this is an ever bloomer. So there's 2 flowers here that are open right now, and then there are two flowers coming out of one of the other pseudobulbs behind it that will probably be open in a few weeks. So it may be ready for the show. These might be gone, but they also tend to last a little while. So maybe I'll have these open and then two other flowers coming out behind it. This thing again, what happens is this blooms all the time. It puts out new pseudobulbs, and right at the end, when it puts out the new pseudobulbs, it also puts flowers out. Right now, all I think I've seen on this has been a couple of blooms per spike, but it's still kind of a young plant. Again, this is Odom's Grand Delight, which means that it's a Cattleya, Odom's Grand Delight, and it's Odom's Grand Delight because Odom made the crosses. So I think Rob at Odom's made the cross to generate this plant. I've seen a lot of variations of this plant. None of the ones that I've seen have been quite like this. The flowers are large. Robert Strait, I think, is a parent of this that has a little bit smaller flowers. But this has nice big flowers, and because I like it so much, I use it in a lot of my crosses. I've never actually had a seed capsule that I've gotten any seed from on this plant, but it's a good parent. It's a good pollinia donor. It's a good male parent, and I've crossed this with that one, with this one. Not with that one yet, but I've crossed this with a lot of them, and it's a Cattleya. The genus is Cattleya, and it really is very crossable with other plants. So I like using this, and I'm anxious to see what I'm going to get out of it. Really, I've crossed with a lot of different things. It's probably my most common pollen parent in all the crosses that I made, and I don't have a huge amount. I'm just starting, crossing and getting into it, and my laboratory is small. But still, I use this parent because I like this flower so much. I use this parent in a lot of my different crosses, and he works. It's a really good parent. All right. So this is again Cattleya, Odom's Grand Delight. It's again one of my favorite in a huge heavy pot, and we'll see what happens with this pot. It's doing pretty well. I got to be concerned a little bit about rotting because the pot is so big and deep, but I'm keeping an eye on it, and right now it's doing well. It's about halfway filled in the pot, so I think this plant is going to get a lot bigger. It looks well. It looks good. I don't see any rotting associated with it, so we'll see how it goes. I do have it underneath my palm tree here, and so what happens is the fruit from the palms come down and hit the leaves, so there's a little bit of scarring on the leaves from where the palms hit it, but it's okay. I'm focusing on the flowers, and the flowers to me are just spectacular on this plant. All right, that's all I have for today. I wanted to share a couple of different orchids with you. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for you today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.